Hi, my name is David Kimball, and I'm here to give you my informative speech. I have three members in the audience today. There they are. Here I am. Have you ever wondered if there are plants out there that eat insects to absorb their nutrients? Well, I am here to tell you today that there are plenty of plants out there like that. I'll only cover a few though. Now, I will tell you before I begin that I am absolutely in love with plants. I'm a big plant enthusiast. I believe we should learn all things about plants because they actually are a big stepping stone in human survival. They actually give us oxygen to breathe and everything like that. The first plant that I would like to cover, after saying all that, is the Venus flytrap. The Venus flytrap actually is from the East Coast subtropic wetlands of the United States. So it can be located in North or South Dakota or South Carolina. Basically, these were found in 1760, and they've kind of, come into play ever since then. They've gone up in population and down quite a bit. They've actually been put on the vulnerable list by the National Wildlife Federation for people just picking them and wanting them as household plants. Now, the way the Venus flytrap works is very interesting. It actually has a pad that lies open with two open leaves on each side. The inside of this pad is very luscious looking, so it attracts quite a bit of insects. Now, when they do step on this, the Venus flytrap has actually evolved and is smart enough now. It can feel with tiny little hairs on this pad exactly where the insect is stepping. Now, basically what happens is the insect will make a move on the Venus flytrap. Just one movement causes it to start to shut. Now, it won't shut until it feels a second movement. If it doesn't feel the second movement within 20 seconds, it remains dormant and stays open, and the insect is actually kind of free to go. If it does feel the second movement, then it will snap closed, kind of like so in the picture, trapping the insect here. Now, the insect itself, the more that it actually fights, the more easy it is to actually digest this insect. So, that's the Venus flytrap. It actually can survive in, it has to survive in humid, moist type temperatures, but it doesn't require as much humidity as the next plant that I'm about to talk about, which is the Australian pitcher plant. Now, here's a picture of the Australian pitcher plant. This is multiple plants kind of all in one, different chambers. What they do here is these plants are very beautiful, so people seek them for decoration and things like that, and it's because of the different traps that they have and just the different colors. Now, this plant itself has a leaf that kind of forms into a cone shape. In this leaf, you're actually able to gather water or a liquid of some kind that is actually able to trap the bug, whatever bug that it's trying to absorb. Now, the outside rim of this is called the peristome. Now, this actually is what attracts the bug. It's so beautiful when the bug comes in. Once it gets past a certain point, the way that the needles on the peristome are facing make it so that the bug can't climb back out. It can get in very easily, can't get back out. Once it hits the water, it will try and struggle naturally. Through struggling, it's actually absorbed easier and it actually goes down into the water easier. That's another picture of the peristome, and you can see how beautiful that this is, how attractive that is. Now, these plants also need moist land to survive. They actually can't survive anywhere else other than the southern southwestern botanical province of Australia. So, they need like really extreme hot weather. They actually have a dormant period, as do the Venus flytrap. If they encounter an environment that is insufficient of sunlight and the temperature might be too cold, they actually will shut their own selves down, and then they'll grow later on in the year when they feel the sunlight come back. So it's kind of one of the smart things about these plants. In comparison of the two, the Venus flytrap seems to win out on all of the areas of survival. Basically, the Venus flytrap is an offspring of the actual Australian pitcher plant, It evolved later on. It doesn't require the liquid. It actually uses the clamp technique to grab bugs. This allows it to actually grab larger bugs and absorb bigger bugs. So I mean, that's kind of the huge benefit. So it's able to actually, due to being able to absorb more nutrients and stuff like that in one meal, it's actually been able to outlast the pitcher plant. They're both beautiful in nature and they're both great plants. The Venus flytrap just seems to win them all. One thing I did take away from this assignment is the beauty of these plants. Basically, there's thousands of these species out there, and I invite everyone to kind of look into something like this. And that should do it for my plant discussion. Here's my crowd. Thank you very much.